It's late. The only light in the room is coming from a laptop screen, casting that soft glow. A tutorial is paused, maybe halfway through. If you have ever been in that chair, feeling that quiet, heavy weight of expectation, well then, this story is for you. So let's talk about someone. We'll call them Alex. Alex leans back in that chair, and the silence of the room just makes one thought louder and louder. It's not a question about the code or the design, it's a question about them. A feeling that maybe, just maybe, something is wrong with the way they're trying to learn. And the doubt? It just keeps building, doesn't it? It's that nagging feeling that there's some secret piece of the puzzle, a key that everyone else got, but you somehow just missed. It's the beginning of a spiral, and it feels incredibly lonely. And there it is. That's the final blow. The comparison. The belief that you are completely alone on an island of confusion, while everyone else is just sailing by, no problem. But you know what? This isn't a story about failure. It's about the very common, very human traps we all fall into when learning something new. Okay, so let's really get into this. We're going to break down the 5 most common traps that can turn all that initial excitement into total frustration. And this isn't about a lack of talent, not at all. It's about a series of small, totally understandable missteps that create something we could call confusion debt. So Alex starts with a ton of energy. A new project, a new skill, big goals, you know the feeling. The impulse is to finish fast, right? Get to those advanced topics and feel ready. So Alex skips the basics, jumps right into the deep end, and is immediately surrounded by a screen full of stuff that makes 0 sense. And that's the core of it right there. Rushing is basically a loan you take from your future self, and the interest you pay is confusion. Every concept builds on the last one. Staring at that messy screen, Alex realizes this just isn't working and makes a tiny decision. Go back. Start over. But this time, slowly. Okay, so Alex slows down, which is great, but now tries a whole different tactic, just memorizing everything. The idea is, if you can repeat enough fancy terms, maybe you'll sound like you know what you're doing. So you write down the jargon, you repeat it, you practice it. It feels kind of safe, like you're building an arsenal. But then, a real problem comes up, one that isn't in the notes. And this just nails the difference, doesn't it? Memorization is brittle. It shatters the second things change. But understanding is flexible. So Alex pauses the video and tries something new, just explaining the concept out loud to the empty room. It's clumsy at first, for sure, but it's the beginning of actually getting it. So Alex is watching the tutorial again, but way more carefully this time. The instructor is clicking super fast, things are working, and the old habit is just to copy every single move, click for click, setting for setting. But even with this new, slower pace, something still feels missing. This brings us to one of the most powerful ideas in learning anything technical. I mean, the user interface will change, right? The buttons will move, the names will get updated, but the core problems they solve, those stay the same. So a new habit starts to form. Before copying a click, Alex now asks a quiet question. Okay, but why this button? What problem is this actually solving? Progress is finally happening, but wow, it feels slow. So Alex opens up social media for a quick break and sees post after post. Just mastered this in 30 days. Certified after 2 months. And instantly, that old feeling comes rushing back. You feel small, slow, and hopelessly behind. What's so interesting here is the hidden truth. Most of those big celebratory posts, they skip the part about the struggle. Real deep learning is often a quiet, slow, messy process. Closing the tab, Alex realizes the only progress that actually matters is their own. The real work happens in silence, not in a public announcement. So the final trap. This one is the most subtle. Alex is doing all the right things now, slowing down, asking why, ignoring the noise. But some concepts are still fuzzy. The expectation is for this instant clarity, for all the pieces of the puzzle to just click into place at once. And this is just so important to remember. That feeling of being confused, it's not a stop sign. It is the active state of learning. It's your brain working in the background trying to connect the dots. With that final realization, the pressure just lifts. Alex learns to just sit with the confusion, trusting that clarity will come. Maybe not today, but eventually. So after weeks of these small shifts, a bigger change starts to take hold. It's not one single moment, but it's the result of all those quiet decisions to just learn differently. That tension starts to release, and it's replaced by a sense of calm, of control. It's the same late evening, the same tutorial on the screen. But Alex is different. The frustration is gone. This journey is no longer a desperate sprint to a finish line, but a deliberate, step-by-step process of building real understanding. You know, the old way was just a cycle of anxiety, but the new way, built piece by piece, is a real system for learning. Instead of rushing, you slow down. Instead of just memorizing, you explain it out loud. And instead of skipping the basics, you revisit them, calmly and with zero shame. And look, it doesn't happen all at once. It's not some lightning bolt of understanding. It's more like a slow sunrise. The concepts just start to feel logical. Not easy, but manageable. That heavy weight of confusion starts to lift, and it's replaced by the quiet confidence of genuine progress. So what did Alex actually figure out on this journey? And more importantly, what can we all take away from it? This new path isn't about being smarter or faster. It's just about being more deliberate. And here it is, broken down into 5 simple habits. Learn things in their proper order. Constantly ask why, so you understand the reasons behind the actions. Repeat the fundamentals as many times as you need to. Accept that being confused is part of the process. And above all, just stay consistent. The goal isn't to be fast, the goal is to be solid. As we start to wrap this up, let's talk about the real lesson here. It's not about a specific piece of software or even a specific skill. It's about how we approach the challenge of learning itself. I really want you to let this sink in. If any part of Alex's story felt familiar to you, the rushing, the comparing, the frustration, it doesn't mean you're bad at this. It just means you're completely normal. These things are hard because they demand patience, not because you lack ability. And that is the single most important takeaway from all of this. The goal isn't to get to the finish line first. The real goal is to simply stay on the path. Slow, patient, consistent learning will always win in the long run. And that's how things eventually and truly start to make sense.